baked cookies, or she likes to call them gorilla poops. You're first going to start by adding 2 tablespoons of butter. You're going to melt that over medium-high heat on your stovetop. Then you're going to add a half a cup of milk and then 2 cups of sugar and just dump that right in. Now we're going to mix this all together just so it doesn't burn on the bottom of your pan. Next, add 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, and then you're going to add just a little bit of vanilla, so about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of vanilla, a little bit of salt, and then go ahead and mix that all together. Now once that starts to boil, go ahead and pull it off the stovetop, and you're going to add 3/4 cup of peanut butter. You can add creamy or chunky, whatever you prefer, and then mix that in until everything is nice and smooth. Next, add 2 cups of instant oatmeal or quick oats while your chocolate is still hot, because we want to be able to mix that really well together. Once that starts to dry, it's going to start to harden up, so we want to do it while it's hot. Now I love using cookie scoops when I scoop out these cookies, because then I don't have to burn my fingers and they're all nice and even and proportional, and you get what I'm saying. I like to scoop them out on foil so the cleanup is nice and easy, and then you just let them dry. Once they're dry, they harden and they are absolutely soft sugar cookies. So first you're going to add 3/4 cup of butter and 3/4 cup of sugar. Now go ahead and blend that together really well. Once that's all blended and mixed well together, you're going to add 2 eggs, 3 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and then mix it all together again. Once it's well combined, you're going to add a half teaspoon of salt, 2 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and 2 1/4 cups of flour. Now this is the last time you have to mix it all together. So once it's all mixed and well combined, you're going to cover it with plastic wrap and stick it in the refrigerator to chill for about 30 minutes. Now it's time to roll the balls. So let me show you just a little trick when you make sugar cookies. Now you can make them with the cookie cutters, that's great, but it's really easy just to make them in balls, and then you just press them down a little bit so they'll be complete circles. Now you're going to bake these at 350 degrees for about 8 to 10 minutes. While they're baking, it's time to make the frosting. So you start with 2 1/2 cups powdered sugar, 3 tablespoons of butter that's softened, and you're going to mix those together, just the best that you can. Next, you're going to add 3 tablespoons of milk and a half tablespoon of vanilla extract. Now blend those very smoothly and softly so you don't get the powdered sugar everywhere, and your frosting will become thick and delicious. Now the trick is not to melt your butter, it's just to keep it softened, and that's how you get the buttercream texture. Then to decorate, you just add on your favorite sprinkles. Now these are super soft and delicious, and they work with any holiday. You just change up the sprinkles. But I love making them for Christmas.
This fudge recipe comes together so easily. You don't even need a candy thermometer. And this recipe makes a lot, so it's perfect if you want to give some away to friends and neighbors. It makes a great gift. Here's what you're going to need. Now for your chocolate, you could use milk chocolate or you could use semi-sweet, but what I like to do is do half and half. So I'm going to use half a bag of semi-sweet and half a bag of milk chocolate and blend the two together. But you can choose whichever one you prefer. I'm also going to be using about 3 cups of these mini marshmallows, 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. Now this is sweetened condensed milk, it's not evaporated milk, that would be bad. I'm also going to use about 1 1/2 cups of these chopped pecans. Now if you don't like pecans, you also could use walnuts, or even peanuts would be delicious. I'm also going to be using a pinch of salt, and finally some Christmas sprinkles. I'm going to start with the pecans. Now these are chopped pecans, but I would like them to be a bit smaller in my fudge, so I'm going to go ahead and give them a rough chop. Then I'm going to add these to a large mixing bowl. Next, I'm going to measure out about 3 cups of mini marshmallows and add them to my mixing bowl as well. I'm going to line my 9x13 pan with some parchment paper, or you could also use foil if that's what you've got. And I'm going to give this a light spray with non-stick cooking spray. You want to have all of these things ready for when the chocolate comes out of the microwave, because at that point you kind of need to move quickly. Next, in a microwave-safe bowl, I'm going to add half a bag of my milk chocolate chips and about half a bag of my semi-sweet chocolate chips. Then I'm going to add the entire 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. And you know when you add sweetened condensed milk to a recipe, it's gonna be good. Next, I'm going to throw this into my microwave for about 45 seconds. Then I'm gonna take it out, stir it up, and put it back in for another 45 seconds, or until it's melted. You wanna be careful not to burn the chocolate, however, that would be gross. So now that this is nice and smooth, I'm going to pour it over the marshmallows and the nuts. I'm gonna add my pinch of salt, and then I'm gonna stir it up. Now this may be a little bit challenging to mix up because of all the marshmallows and the nuts, but don't worry, just keep at it, it will come together. So now I'm ready to get this into my prepared pan, and I find that it's easiest to use my hands. You just want to spread it out as evenly as you can and smooth it down. But after all, this is kind of like a rocky road, so expect it to be bumpy. Now once you have your fudge spread out, you're going to want to quickly add your sprinkles. That way they can stick to the fudge. If you wait too long, they probably won't stick. Now to help our fudge set up, I'm going to go ahead and stick it in the fridge for about 35 to 40 minutes. Or if you want it to go even faster, you could stick it in the freezer. After our fudge is set, I'm going to go ahead and lift it out of the pan and cut it. And there you have it, guys. Perfectly easy but delicious Christmas fudge. I hope you guys love it.
We have here 250 grams of flour, 100 grams of custard sugar, 140 grams of soft butter, and 1 egg yolk. Here I have some vanillated sugar that I'm going to add here. For the decoration, we have icing sugar in which we are going to add a bit of water. So we're going to check the consistency of it. Inside we have this that we are going to cut. We also have the cookie cutters, and we have the bags for the icing. We are going to use this to make the holes in the biscuits.